Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Snook with section 6.1 day 2 notes, and we're going to do the law of signs with what's called the ambiguous case. So if you think way back to geometry, we told you that you could not prove triangles are congruent using side-side angle. Might have even called it the donkey case. And today you're going to find out why and how to handle it. So when you have a side-side angle, so you know two sides and one angle of a triangle, that angle is not enclosed in between the sides. There's actually a whole bunch of things that could happen depending upon the side lengths in the triangle and the angles. You could have 6 different outcomes. And right here on this picture here, I've got these 6 different cases. In 2 of those cases, you get no triangle at all. And in 3 of those cases, you get 1 triangle. And then in 1 case, you can actually get 2 possible triangles. And I'm not going to ask you to memorize all of those different cases because I have found what I think is an easy peasy way to do this. And it's called the fruit method. And what you do is you're going to look at the angle opposite the given side. And that's called fruit because you can remember it as apples, oranges, grapes, and strawberries. Angle opposite the given side. And what I've done is I've listed for you the quick and easy way to do this. I've put down the steps for you. Step 1, you're going to sketch a triangle. Step 2, you're going to find the fruit angle using the law of signs. Now, if you get an error, then you don't have a triangle. You're going to stop right there. Step 3 is to find the supplement of that fruit angle, because if you have 1 triangle, the second triangle would have the supplement of that angle in there. And that's because the supplement has the same sign as the original angle. And then we're going to have to figure out if that's even possible. So you have a couple of questions here about if the supplement plus the given angle is greater than 180, you have 1 triangle. If it's less, then you have 2 triangles. And then to actually solve the triangle, you're going to solve for all the missing sides and angles. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm giving you angle A is 42, side A is 22, and side B is 12 inches. First thing we're going to do is draw the triangle, and we're going to draw this the same way every time, no matter what. So here's my triangle. A goes here, B goes here, C goes here, and then little a is 22. I'm told that angle A is 42 degrees and little b is 12 inches. And the first thing I'm trying to find out is, do I have a triangle at all? That's the first question we're trying to answer. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the angle opposite the given side. Now, if you look here, we're given angle A and we're given the opposite side. So that's not the one we're looking for. Look over here. Little b is given, but angle B is not. So this is the one you're going to solve for. That one's the fruit angle, angle B. So I'm going to use the law of signs. And since I'm solving for an angle, I'm going to write it with the angles in the numerator. I'm going to start with sine A over little a equals sine B over little b. And the reason I'm using A is that that is a pair that's given to me. That's a complete pair that works. You can think of this as the pair. Okay? So you got apples, oranges, grapes, strawberries, and now we have a pear. Lots of fruit going on here. So plug in what you know. So the sine of 42 over little a, which is 22, equals the sine of b over little b, which is 12. Now I'm trying to solve for b. So what I need to do is just multiply both sides by 12. That's going to give me sine of b is going to equal 12 times the sine of 42 over 22. And go ahead and punch that in your calculator. This is degrees, so use degree mode. So on my calculator, I'm going to make sure I'm in degree mode. I am. So I'm going to do 12 times the sine of 42. I'm going to divide that by 22. And I got 0.365. So now to get b, I have to use the inverse sign. So the inverse sign of the sine of b is going to be the inverse sine of 0.365. So when I inverse sine of the sine, those cancel out and I have b. Now I'm going to do inverse sine of the answer that I got. So inverse sine of my answer. I got 21.4 degrees. So I have an answer. That means I do have a triangle, so that's a yes. Now my second question is, do I have another triangle? So what I'm going to do to answer that one is I'm going to draw that triangle. This is still A, this is still C, this is still B. A is still 42 degrees. Little a is still 22 inches. Little b is still 12 inches. But this time, my angle B is going to be the supplement of what I got. So I'm going to do 180 minus 21.4. And I get 158.6. Now, in a triangle, I know all three angles add up to 180 degrees. So let's figure out what angle C would be in this case. So 42 plus 158.6. I'm going to subtract that from 180. And I get a negative 20.6 degrees. That does not work. So therefore, I do not have two triangles. Now, the quick way I could do this is I could just take that 156.8. I could add my original angle. So I'm going to add 42, which was the original one that I was given. And if I get a number bigger than 180, I know there's no way that I can have a triangle, because whatever I get for angle C is going to be a negative number. 158.6 plus 42 gives me 200.6. That's greater than 180. So no triangle. So for this one, our example number 1, we only have one triangle. And I didn't have to memorize any of these scenarios. Just use the fruit angle. All right, so now let's do another one. Example 2, how many triangles here? I'm going to start off just like I did before. I'm going to draw my triangle. And I'm always drawing it this way, A, B, C. A is 85 degrees. Little a is 15. Little b is 25. First question I want to ask myself is there a triangle at all? And I'm going to answer it using fruit angle. Here is the pair that I have, and angle B is the angle opposite the given side, so this is the one I want. So I'm going to do sine of A over little a equals sine of B over little b. Plug in what you know. Sine of 85 over 15 equals sine of B over 25. And then I'm going to cross multiply And I get sine of B equals 25 times the sine of 85 divided by 15. And let's see what that is. I got 1.66. So right here, you should have some alarm bells going off. And here's why. Sine of B is 1.66. But sine is always between -1 and +1. So if I go to do the inverse sine, something interesting is going to happen. So B is going to be the inverse sine of 1.66. So just do the inverse sine of that. And I got error. Which means there is no triangle at all. Okay. Now example 3. This time we have this many triangles. Start the same way as I always do. This is angle A, angle B, angle C. Little a is 31, little b is 12, and angle B is 20.5. So my complete pair is right here. And what I'm looking for is angle A. It's the one opposite the 31 that's given. So, law of sines. Sine A over little a equals sine B over little b. Plug in what you know. Sine A I'm looking for over 31 equals sine of 20.5 over 12. So what I'm going to do to solve for sine of A, I multiply both sides by 31. So just punch that into your calculator. Punch in 31 times sine of 20.5. And then divide by 12. I got 0.9047. So that I can take the inverse sine of that one. And I get A is 64.78 degrees. Let's round that to 64.8 degrees. So now 64.8. Do I have one triangle? Yes, I do. Next question, do I have another triangle? Well, let's go ahead and find the supplement. So 180 minus 64.8 equals that's 115.2. Now the original angle that I was given for angle B is 20.5. So let's see if that works. Here's A, B, and C. 20.5, 115.2. So if I add the 20.5 to 115.2, I get 135.2. So then angle C is going to be 180 minus 135.2. And that gives me 44.8. That works. So I do indeed have two triangles. So that's my answer to this question. So you've seen one where there's one triangle, you've seen no triangles, and you've seen two triangles. Now, let's put it all together. We're going to solve for all the missing sides and angles. If there's two triangles, we're going to do both of them. So let's go ahead, draw our triangle. Angle B is 17 degrees. Little a is 30. Little b is 11. This one right here, that's my complete pair. A is the angle opposite the given side, so I'm going to do this one. I want you to try this one on your own. Figure out what angle A is. So pause this video right now and see if you can figure out the value of angle A. Okay, so for angle A, I got 52.9. And then since I am solving these triangles, I'm going to go ahead and figure out what angle C is. So angle C plus 52.9 plus 17 has to equal 180. So angle C is going to be just 180 minus those. So 180 minus 17 minus 52.9. I get 110.1. That's 110.1. It's hard to see. Now the only thing that I don't know about this triangle is what the length of little c is. So let's go ahead and get that. I'm going to use the given pair. So sine A over A equals, nope, sorry, B is the one that's given. And because I'm looking for little c, let's flip the law of sines over and let's do the lengths on the top. So B over sine B equals little c over sine of c. Plug in 30 over sine 17 equals little c over sine of 110.1. So to solve this, c is going to be 30 times the sine of 110.1 divided by the sine of 17. Just punch this in your calculator. All you got to do is plug in. So 30 times the sine of 110.1, and we're going to divide that by 17. I get c equals 1 point. No, I divided wrong. I divided by 17 instead of sine of 17. So let's do this. So 30 times sine of 0.1 divided by the sine of 17 equals 96.4. So I now have the missing angle, two missing angles in the missing side of this triangle. I still haven't answered, is there a second triangle? So let's do that one. And the way I do that is I'm going to take the angle that I calculated for angle A, 52.9. Let's find the supplement of it. So 180 minus 52.9 equals, I get 127.1. Now I need to make sure that if I add in the angle B that was originally given to us, which is 17, that I'm going to be less than 180 degrees. So let's add in our angle B. And I get 144.1. So yes, there is a second triangle, because this is less than 180. Okay, let's figure out that second triangle. This is still 17. Angle A is now 127.1. Little a is still 30 and little b is 11. This one was the complete pair that we were given, so I'm going to use that one in my calculations. And then angle C plus 17 plus 127.1, that has to equal 180. So therefore angle C is going to be 180 minus 17 minus 127.1, and I get 35.9. So now angle C is 35.9 degrees. Let's figure out little c. So here's my answer for here. Little c is a length, so I'm going to put the lengths in the numerator. So b over sine of b equals c over sine of c. Plug in. Now what I'm going to do to solve for c is I'm going to multiply both sides by sine of 35.9. So 11 times sine of 35.9. I'm going to divide that by the sine of 17. And I got 22.1. So that's the length of C in the second triangle. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.